What's up?
This is Draco.
And this is Alicia.
And you're now tuned in to OD
Podcast.
Oh.
Period.
Hey. Oh, you got your hair pressed. I just realized you got to come on. I got hair.
If you listen right now, I had to take my braids out because I think it was stopping me from getting a job. So there's that.
Yeah, I don't like stuff like, I hate when she tell me stuff like, this make me mad. It made me want to walk in these places and really turn up. Because
and I don't know how accurate it is. I just know that I don't never have this many interviews and don't get no job. So
I never worked in corporate America. I haven't had a quote unquote real job. Well, I actually worked at Mac. I'm lying. But I wish they would have told me not to come there with my
I know I'm the bum, and I lie enough in my interviews. Let me stop. I'm just kidding. No, it's not that, but I definitely know I'm qualified. And when I ask for feedback, they be like, "Well, we really liked you," it was just a really tough decision. Okay, so what made it tough? My hair?
Untough it.
You feel what I'm saying? Anyway, how y'all doing? We have a guest today.
Hey, guest.
Hi.
How are you?
What's your name?
I'm doing well. Brittany Wilder.
And what you
Brittany Wilder.
Oh,
I love
well,
it. I feel like I know that name.
Far from the news.
You may. Not W2 News. Maybe Fox 5.
But yes, Brittany Wilder is a tax professional, certified tax professional.
Yes.
And we here to dispute
emphasis on certified.
We'll go over what's certified.
Yes,
Okay.
we're here to dispute these rumors and finesses that y'all out here doing live on the internet.
And also help, because I need help. So
Look,
I came here with a lot of questions.
I don't been on for a long time, and I just got some help today.
She's
So.
just now sharing the facts.
Yeah, I have a lot of questions.
So before we get into that, we got to get to shop talk, and I just want to say rest in peace, Kobe Bryant.
So how crazy is it that we recorded the last episode? As soon as I walked out the door,
bruh, Janae had sent me the link, but I had already seen it. And it's crazy because I saw the thing from TMZ, and it was like 16 minutes that it had been up.
Yeah.
And I Googled it, and I didn't see nothing. So I'm like, this must not be true.
Yeah.
And then I seen it again somewhere else. I'm like, oh my God. Y'all, it's been a weird week, and I'm not even a basketball person.
Yeah.
But rest in peace, Kobe Bryant and Gianna.
I found out at a Quick Trip, and I know this is like really dramatic, but every time I go to a Quick Trip since then, it made me feel weird.
What's your take on it, though?
I don't know what.
Do you think the pilot had the clearance? Do you think it was...
Well, from what I heard
who's
initially,
fault, shall I say?
I heard that another pilot had already said no to do it.
I heard the same thing, that he didn't have clearance for takeoff, but then I also heard that the conditions were okay, and as he continued throughout his journey, that's when it kind of got foggy. So he wasn't able to see that from when he was looking originally where he started. So it kind of gave him the turnaround. He kept turning around.
For like 20 minutes.
The canyon, because it was foggy right there. So I'm not sure. I don't know who to say who's at fault. So I just wanted to ask you all's take on that.
I read the audio from air traffic control, and they told him what to do. They was like, hey, follow the highway, basically. But I don't know if he just decided to...
He probably couldn't see it if they were saying the conditions were
bad.
bad.
So on top of the LAPD had even said they grounded all their helicopters and stuff that day too, because the fog was so thick. And I think that and this is obviously, I don't know anything about air traffic control, but I know that there was a point where they transferred him to another department to help guide him through that part of the route. And he just was not responding. This was before it crashed. So I'm thinking like maybe you know how you be driving, you turn everything off. You be like, nah, I got this. Let me just da-da-da-da. I think that's what it is. But you know what's kind of sad though? We'll never really know. And It's kind of tough that the media is going to blame the pilot, period. Whether it was his fault or not, and it's like he can't even defend himself.
Yeah. But
I even saw an article saying that company per se wasn't certified to fly in those conditions and all this other stuff. I don't know. It's really sad. But what I did learn, I don't even know if this is like a silver lining, but they said that according to the autopsy, they died on blunt force trauma. Which means they didn't like burn alive or something like that. Like that is what I feared. Yeah. Like seeing you falling to your death or burning literally alive, it's just a horrific thought. So at the very least, they didn't have to suffer all the way out. It was just more of a, yeah. But
same day as the Grammys.
Yeah, they say it's the Grammy curse.
Oh yeah, it'll be a lot going on during the Grammys. But speaking of that, y'all need to go get y'all Uncle Pastor Troy.
What's up, y'all? It's the boy PT.
I don't know what he got going on, but apparently eating mozzarella sticks is gay. So if you out there and you a guy or a girl, don't go to Applebee's and order mozzarella sticks unless you are homosexual.
Or just don't be gay at all because Pastor Troy won't.
I be looking for those.
Yeah, make sure you don't dip. Maybe it was the way they
double
dip. They double dip.
They probably
They had their pinky
They probably
up.
shared one mozzarella stick, like the little
with the string.
Yeah,
he is just doing the most. Like
he think he's setting a trend. Like he really, I seen some interviews he did. He like quadrupled down on it. Like nah. Then he gonna have the nerve to say, "I don't have no problem." You know how they be like, "I don't have no problem when I take pictures with transgender and gays. If you want to be like that, do your thing. But my son ain't gonna be like that." And it's like, so you are homophobic.
Yeah,
got it.
So you don't want.
And you thought you was gonna get a Grammy in this lifetime. Even when you was up, you thought you was getting a Grammy? But
he obviously is homophobic. The next video he had posted afterwards, he was like, congrats. He was like, so it did work. My video, it worked. My picture worked. He was like, so y'all do have it in y'all. This is what y'all need. Y'all angry. That means y'all do have a man inside of y'all. Y'all need to man up. I'm like, oh,
that is so
my
great.
God.
You and your wrestling belt need to go back to 1996.
That's what I'm saying. Him and his 96 years of living with that daggone belt.
I know you know about vice versa.
You know that's my. Let me tell you something. Vice versa and what's up? Oh, no more playing GA. They're my gym songs, but not no more. I'd rather listen to Raindrops. It was really disappointing. I'm not gonna lie, but it doesn't even shock me. People that
I like the fact that Lil Nas didn't get mad about it.
He was like, I look good in this picture. Oh God.
Yeah, I like it that he didn't get mad. Then he tweeted about some mozzarella sticks the other day. It was so funny.
Yeah, I'm sick of it. Yeah.
And then we got, what else we got on here?
Super Bowl weekend. Do y'all watch sports?
No, you know what's so crazy? This is so ignorant. I don't watch sports. I normally watch Super Bowl for the halftime, typical
performance, Shakira and J-Lo.
But I'm not a fan of J-Lo.
Really?
No.
I don't know what I am of her, but I don't dislike her.
I don't dislike her, but I'm just saying I wouldn't. When we was in Vegas, we had to choose between Britney Spears and J-Lo because they both had
Britney Spears.
Yeah. Exactly.
Y'all seen her perform, Britney Spears?
They didn't want to go.
What?
And I'm like,
oh no,
how are you not a Britney Spears fan?
Yeah, that's crazy. Actually,
they want to go see J-Lo, and I'm like, I
don't like that. Now, I don't even. Do J-Lo even have enough songs?
She
That's
does.
what I was thinking. What solo song does she have that's a hit?
I think that.
What's the deal with you?
I think that as a black community,
on there, right? So
yeah.
Hold on, that's waiting for tonight. That's the New Year's Eve song anthem.
But every black person know at least 5 Britney Spears songs.
No, for real. Even if you just know "Hit Me, Baby, One More Time" or "Toxic." If you was a cheerleader, if you like cheerleaders, you knew "Toxic."
It's just so.
It's all
I was so sad, so we didn't.
Y'all gonna wish y'all appreciated Britney when you had the chance.
Yeah, but no, I actually planned a game night tonight. Oh. So I'm I want to start. I initially bought the Uno cards, the ones that you write on, and that just started. So it started something. So we like, yes, we're gonna keep playing games. So on the empty cards,
so you gotta be messy to get people to participate. Got it.
No, I mean you just gotta make it interesting. But my cards is messy. One of them says FaceTime your ex or draw 8.
I'm drawing 36 just to make sure because I ain't getting into them problems.
And then one of them says take a shot or draw 8, and then the other one says take 2 shots or draw 16. So it ain't that bad. It's the FaceTime the ex for me.
Yeah, no thanks.
I did it though. I FaceTime every last one of my exes because I kept getting it. People kept throwing it out. I was like, whatever. You
were better off drawing the card. Huh?
But when they answer the phone, I just hold the card up. I was like, hey, we playing a game.
Oh, that's actually good. I'm not doing that though.
I know.
I'm trying to.
I'm cool. Thankfully, I'm cool with all my exes, so it's fine.
Yeah, I don't want to signify or make them feel important. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, one of my exes did say this. I'm like, oh, you decided to call.
Okay,
me.
bye. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
I just want to say one last thing. This is something I noticed. It's not really pop culture, but I was looking at my Ring app today, and people I know people say, oh, I just leave my doors unlocked because I don't want my window broken. But people actually shake doors on cars, and they're gonna steal your stuff. So lock your doors. I don't really know what else to say about that. Basically, every time I see these videos, I see it be boys in the parking lot shaking door knobs. And if the door locked, they just walk off. But y'all be leaving y'all doors unlocked. Like, why?
I definitely am one of those people that leave my door unlocked sometimes. But you know what? There don't be nothing in my car.
Well, that don't mean they ain't gonna do nothing. They can hotwire it. They can do whatever they want to do. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I don't like that knowing somebody was in my car.
One time I did that. Somebody, when I had went out with Bryson, we went to Beer and Tacos.
I remember that.
And we went to Beer and Tacos, and I left my car door unlocked, like always, but I ended up paying for parking. So they had a parking attendant. Somebody still broke in cars over there. My car window wasn't broken, but when I got to my car, it was trashed. Like, they took all the stuff out the glove compartment, out the center console, and just threw it all over the car.
And so that's what people say they prefer to leave it unlocked so their window isn't broken. But a lot of times I see it, they just leave the car. Not saying they don't break the window, but I think that the greater risk is having the door unlocked.
But the crazy part about it is I had a camera in there, and Bryson had I think he had like a bag full of new clothes that haven't been worn, and they left it.
What was it? Was it in sight? Like visible?
He had it on the back seat. My camera was in the glove compartment.
Wow, they were looking for crack.
They were scared they were coming back out.
I don't know.
But y'all car must have
So
been
I was like, oh my. So when we realized that, we pulled off, and I had stopped in the middle of the street because I'm like, what if they hide it in the trunk?
Exactly.
So I had got out the car and opened the trunk just to make sure nobody in there.
We're going to take all the seats out today and going to make sure ain't nobody, no babies up in here, fetus and all.
You know, that's one of my fears, getting in the car, somebody in there already.
You know what?
What's so
got
crazy?
Me scarred because that's how he killed that dude. He put the bag over his head from the back seat.
You know what's so crazy? Like, I that's like something that scares me so bad that sometimes if I'm thinking about it too hard, I feel the seat pushing my back.
Oh
like,
my
I be
God.
feeling like somebody pushing.
Put your feet down.
I've legit almost crashed my car before because I felt like somebody was behind my chair. You know how you driving, you got people in the car, and you can feel them kicking the seat or something. But I felt it. Like, I really felt it. I was like, oh my God. I had to pull over. I was like reaching under the seat. I got out just to make sure. It happened to me twice.
That's actually really scary.
Yeah, I promise y'all, I can. Oh my God, yeah.
We would have to double check the seats.
Let me tell you something. We're gonna open the roof up or something, and I only got no drop top. Okay, you had one more thing you wanted to do for Shop Talk.
So Gervonta Davis, why you gotta put your hands on Dretta? And first of all, don't put your hands on women. Period. But the fact that you did it in public,
which makes me feel like he's done it before. Now I know that she don't take no kind of BS for nobody, but that don't mean that he ain't gonna, try his hand.
Let me just read you the
what he posted. Sounded like somebody who hit somebody before. That's what I got from it.
Oh, I didn't know he posted about it.
Yeah, he had to. It was all over the internet. It like spread on the internet like fire. Like, it went everywhere fast. So then he got on his story and he was like, I never once hit her. Yeah, I was aggressive and told her to come on, but that's the mother of my child, and I would never hurt her. Other than that, Happy New Year's. January was trash. Okay,
you don't own her.
You don't.
So yeah, she the mother of your child, but what is but that's the mother of my child? What did that even mean?
But the mother of your child means I control you, right?
Exactly. That's what I get from it. And then she was with people, and I get nobody was gonna stand up for her, but man to man, somebody doing something wrong. You ain't gotta be trying to square up with him or something. I just feel like,
I understand. I would not fight him personally.
Guys always love their baby mama, so
they really
trying to control her.
Do your baby dad be doing that?
No, he don't. No hands.
Okay.
Oh no, not no hands. I mean, like, he be trying to control you.
Yeah, he do. He kind of be like, check in, let me know you got here safely. That's how he kind of downplay controlling me.
Yeah, I feel you.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like that. I feel like what he I don't know what the case was, but I just feel like that's just crazy. Even look at her face, she like, I wonder what she was saying.
Me too.
Like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, exactly.
You can tell she was really embarrassed. It just was an all around embarrassing thing to watch. And it was just kind of fucked up. Like, I just don't like. I can't.
I'm not with it. I don't even like being yelled at. You definitely ain't about to be shaking me up and pulling me up. Yell at me. I don't like yelling. Don't yell at me.
I want you to yell at me. They're gonna be the last
they
time.
were trying to be the father to the child.
That's embarrassing though, and it's like you just need to be mindful. You are actually a boxing superstar right now.
Baby.
Yeah,
you in the media all the time. I just feel like, but
hey, people human.
You right,
regardless of their professional title.
You're right, and to me, I feel like when you have that kind of like a visibility, you should be more conscious about what you do. Obviously, everybody don't think like that. And he's a boxer, so his mind, he's just, I don't know. I just don't like it. I don't think it's cool, no matter who he's dating or who it could have been in that situation. I just think it's really embarrassing. And now it's just going to build an image around her. Now people, they already have an image of her anyway, but it's kind of like, he probably be hitting her.
Oh, my God.
All them bags and cars don't mean nothing. Shut up. Anyways, all right.
Iced me out. Da-da.
So, Brittany Wilder, what's the name of your tax business?
Wildest Financial Advisory.
Wildest Financial Advisory. First of all, congratulations and about time.
Thank you. I'm coming out my shell.
How many years have you been doing taxes?
Ooh, about 7 years. I was in college, Georgia State, and I was like, I need to get some more money. I need to trade. If this don't work out, what can I do to back me up? So I went to Liberty Tax School, and that was in 2013. So.
Oh, wow. So you do have to go to like a school or like take up a class or something.
So 7 years ago, you did have to take some type of tax school to learn taxes. Now, I would be honest to say you don't have to take any type of continuing education.
You just show up at Walmart.
Pretty much. In Jackson Hewitt and say, hey, I have my PT and I file taxes.
What's a PT?
Oh, PT and Preparer Identification Number.
And anyway, you can probably get that online. Huh?
Yeah, you can get them 15 minutes online. Just put in the information.
And on top of that, you were also your major was accounting, right? So you were already in the financial.
So I'm a finance major, also a chartered financial consultant. So I have my certification.
I might need you for that part. I am very bad with my finances
as well.
I have really bad spending habits, and it's because I didn't always have money. So now that I have it, I'm gonna spend it on whatever I want.
Flex.
It ain't even no flex. It's just the simple fact that I can literally just walk in the store and say, "Oh, I want that. I'm getting it."
And there's nothing wrong with that. But what about the rainy day?
Exactly. And then when it rains, baby, it rains. Okay.
And you don't have a friend to call on. Not these days. They ain't making people the same.
I have too much pride to call on a friend, so I will sit there until
I ain't giving nothing away. Don't call me.
Yeah. No, I don't have too much. If it's a rainy day though, I definitely have Lyft driver app on my phone.
Okay.
Uber driver.
So you're a hustler.
I'm a hustler, baby. Yeah, I don't care. Like if you listening, if one day you see me driving Lyft or Uber, you know what's up.
Keep your mouth closed and tilt me.
Just be quiet.
Okay.
Just be quiet.
Young drop me. Period.
So, okay, having the certification that you have compared to the PT that these people have, does that mean that you have a certain level of experience or knowledge? Or is the job itself more so software navigation?
So I was listening to the OD podcast about, I think, like 2 episodes ago.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
As far as high school diploma filing taxes, which is acceptable. You can do that. Just me personally, I would want somebody with a little bit more professional education to file my taxes, just to know that they're... To say they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So, for example, if I had someone with accreditation, just the high school diploma, as well as to compare with somebody with a finance or an accounting background, I would trust to say that this person would know more about taxes
they've
than
done the
individual with a high school diploma.
Yeah.
But, hey,
and not saying a person with
credentials are easy these days to be a tax preparer. I see people in December... You be like, hey, she was just selling CBD tea. now she a tax professional.
Oh my God!
No, really,
wait, so is that like I was about to say? So is that like the trend? Because I know about 3 people that do the same thing. Like they went from the CBD tea to the tax.
They confident though. I can't lie because even though I'm
hold on, wait, and credit fixing.
Yeah. Period.
Here's my take with the credit fixing.
Come on with it, because, baby, I got something to say.
I don't believe in the little signs that you see that say erase bad credit. Because
don't.
At the end of the day, that creditor is able to come back and put that information back on your credit
Don't we
report.
know it? Let me tell you something.
I believe in consulting with the creditor to settle the debt. And then send a good faith letter for it to be erased. That's just my belief.
What's the difference?
So initially, if you're just sending a letter and the creditor say, okay, I'll remove it, they're going to come back and say, okay, we never settled the debt, so I can put it back on your tax or on your credit report. Versus, hey, the debt was $500. Let's settle it at $350 and then send a good faith letter for it to be removed.
Oh, so you pay the debt but have that negative impact.
Yeah,
okay.
You consult with the creditor to settle the debt and
then
have it be erased. No, some people just pay the individual and think, okay, you paying for the mailers. But the mailers are not efficient if you're not selling the debt.
And mailers is the letter that they send out to.
The letter.
Mm-hmm. People kick it
you
like
may need a goodwill letter, bad faith letter. It just depends. Payment arrangement letter is different.
So I need to know what I need to send because for me personally, I actually want, this is going to be my I did it twice. I did twice trying to get my credit fixed from like one of those people. The first time I went with a law firm just because I felt like, okay, I can trust them. And yeah, no. I was paying them like $150 a month, and
you were basically paying them the $150 a month for them to go back and forth with the creditor, but you weren't paying the creditor themselves.
Yeah, no.
So that means you weren't in agreement with them.
Yep.
For anything to change.
So you just donating to the
report.
law firm at this point.
Pretty much.
So, and I did it again with somebody who I knew, and they were like helping me, whatever, and it did come off, but came back.
Came right back. Yeah.
Stuff came back. So,
the thing is, I feel like people are kicking it as if just take out all these loans, don't you even worry about it. Because what I've always understood it as, if you have a debt, you owe that debt. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to just go away. Like I get people want student loan forgiveness, but in reality, that is a loan that you took out for that education. They're not just going to take it away. This is federal money we're talking about. You know what I'm saying?
And by the time the student forgiveness kick in, your credit is so bad and deterred for all the interest and all the late payments.
It's just
to the point where you're going to have to kind of settle or pay the debt off. I mean, that's just me, in my opinion, what I would do.
No, it makes sense, actually.
yeah, go.
So, the certification that you have, is this like, what do you do with it? Like, do you get it renewed? Do you have to do certain additional classes and stuff to make yourself more of a like, hey, don't go to Walmart?
Each year I take 18 hours of continual education. I also renewed my P10, but with my charter financial consultant, that's the designation that I got with my employer. We went over 401k, retirement plans, financial advising and planning. So the client may come to me and say, hey, in 10 years, I want to have this type of portfolio. So they may bring their 401k, and I would set out a portfolio plan for them. So with the certification or the designation, there's no continuing education in that. Just each year I would renew that. For the tax preparing, then the 18 hours of continual education. When you look it up, actually, you'll see that this person completed the program. Versus when you look up in the directory for your P10 holder, you're not going to see that they completed the continual education. So that would be the difference. Both our names may be there, but one person may have a check that say, hey, they completed continual education, which means that person knows the updated laws. They know that the standard mileage rate isn't 56 cents anymore.
I don't even know what that means, but I appreciate you. So yeah, I feel like a lot of people too, they don't really care about that, right? A lot of people just want, how much money can you get me, and can we get away with it? So they're not even looking up like like, does she have this, does she have that? They're more so like, well, if something go wrong, blame her. But from my understanding, if you get audited on your taxes, it's not a preparer's responsibility. It don't even fall on you.
It doesn't.
It
doesn't unless the preparer did something wrong. So if you come to me and you bring me this documentation and I input it on good faith, that you said, hey, everything
like a fake W-2.
I'm going to input it because that's what you brought to me.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when I keep copies of the documents that you send back in, that's what I'm going to send to the IRS if you get audited.
You're like, she said she worked at the White House. Who am I to deny her?
So, and the only thing is, that messed me up because, hey, they're going to look at me like, hey, did you do your good faith, your due diligence to make sure that everything was legit with what they were bringing you?
Now, what are you supposed to do with it? Look on their LinkedIn? Like, I don't understand.
So now, if y'all notice, when you file your taxes, they kind of got some type of software built in with ADP. So your W-2, you don't have to input all the information. It transport over.
It's a convenience to you, but it's also them covering their own self, making sure.
It's the IRS making sure that you reported these earnings.
So
the ones that you have to manually input, those are the ones that they kind of look at a little bit more.
Like the CBD oil people. Okay.
Well, those CBD people are self-employed.
I know, but they said they work at CBD University.
Bye. So I have questions on the entrepreneur side of filing taxes. So up until 2017, I was working at Mac, and of course, with that, we get W-2 because I was working for a company, but I just didn't really know too much about filing taxes because before that, my job that I had was at Six Flags when I was 16, 17. I filed exempt, so I ain't have to file taxes before 18.
But you still have to file when you do exempt, though, right? Or no?
We was young, though.
You could file up to 3 years for any late or prior returns.
Okay.
I would say, but you still should file to keep track of everything.
Right.
Especially when you're trying to buy a house. The first thing they ask you for is your tax return.
Yeah, see, I don't know anything about that. Nothing about that. Nobody told me nothing about it. So I'm just taking money. Like, I'm not keeping track of how much money I'm taking. I'm just taking it, putting it in my bank account, and just calling it a day. It was a makeup artist. Her name Alex Butler. Shout out to Alex. And she started making Instagram posts, like long Instagram posts, and I had recorded all of it because she was just talking about how important it is to, file taxes, what you need to do, how you come up with, how you're supposed to document all your expenses that you spend on your stuff, just basically trying to save your own ass with filing taxes. But even with me now, just because the person that did file my taxes was the one who did the credit for me. Okay. And, no shade, I just don't really trust it. And I'm not, because it can't, like I said, it came back on my credit. What do you think we should do as entrepreneurs?
So, I tell my entrepreneurs, keep track of everything. Get your little shoebox. Let's be old-fashioned if you need to be. Keep all your receipts. And at the end of the year, I could be your bookkeeper as well as your accountant and as well as your tax preparer. I would categorize it for you and input the information in the field that I feel that is best fit. So, for example, if you went to Best Buy and you bought a computer, you would categorize that in supplies.
Okay.
If you're a makeup artist, freelance makeup artist, and you go to your clients, I would tell you to download some type of app that you can keep track of your business miles when you commute into that client. Separate your business miles from your personal miles because, of course, you're using your vehicle in your business. That's deductible.
Okay.
All this information is public to where you would categorize or where you think you would put something. But the longer you've been doing with it, as well as the experience, then you'll know, okay, hey, if this person had a subscription, we could add that in another expense if it was related to their business.
Okay.
So most people missed out on at least 60% of their expenses that they can deduct each year.
I'll never forget.
Just for not knowing.
The first time I started doing my business expenses and Brittany was telling, I'm like, wait, what? Even my phone bill, because that is like my business phone. I'm just like, do you know how
I
I've been doing
sent you a list.
You did, but I ain't know because remember I didn't officially go to you for my test till like what 2017.
Oh yeah, let me tell y'all about Alicia.
Yes, spill the tea.
So we real good friends, probably 5 years.
Longer than that, since like 2012, since we was working together.
Okay, so what's that? 8 years.
Okay.
So maybe the 4th year, she knew that I did taxes.
I always knew.
She always knew. Okay. So she hit me asking me all these questions. So I'm like, Alicia, I'm giving you the answer best as possible, but you basically saying, can you file it for me? And then she kind of was like, oh, no, I got it.
No, you're not even telling the whole story.
The next following year, she was like, I want you to do my taxes. Here's the information.
No, that's not what let me tell you, because she lying. Okay, first of all, I used to do my own taxes, right? Okay, so I thought, because before that, I was going to my dad, and then I started doing my own. So I'm like, okay, cool. This don't really seem too different from what I was doing before. And then, so I went to Brittany's house one night, and I had all my stuff, and she was like, all right, I'm going to give you an estimate. And her estimate was just like what I had when I did online. I'm like, okay, cool. But I went and found out it was some stuff I wasn't doing. So when I had lived in California, that's when I knew I could not do my own taxes.
Yeah, that was the first year that you came, and she was asking questions.
Like, oh, no, this is too much. It was too, trying to file 2 state taxes, that's young, is a whole different beast. I'm like, all right. I know Brittany good people. I'm not even going to play. Let me just call her up. And I said, after that, we've been down for life because I don't learn so much stuff about like just how to properly like categorize stuff and what things qualify because we are running a business. I was on my blog. I got the podcast. These are things that I'm invested in that I'm trying to make money from. So it's like, little do you know, everything in here in this darn studio is a business
equipment.
Yes.
Yeah,
because they definitely could write that off.
Could he write off makeup since he's a freelance artist?
As supplies.
I want you to know that each year I probably spend, and I'm not even joking, I probably spend about $6,000 on makeup and equipment. And I never knew that I could file taxes. I just never knew about it. And I just feel so dumb.
Well, you can go back 3 years.
Let's do it.
Yeah. We'll get you caught
I've
up.
done taxes for, I thought it was 7 years, but I've definitely done like amended taxes before that. It's a little paperwork, but
So you know what happened to me last year though? I filed my taxes. I got my state tax check, and I didn't get my federal.
You were expecting a refund on the federal, or did you owe on the federal?
It never came, so I just figured that they probably just took it.
They didn't tell you? You didn't receive
I didn't get no letter. I don't even know how to look it up.
What about your preparer? They didn't say, hey, you owe federal, or federal is expected to give you a refund of...
No.
See, and that's what I tell people also. Make sure you get your paperwork.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm here now. Today.
Brittany said I can pull up my email and pull everything she don't ever say.
I send it as soon as I prepare your test, and I say, hey, followed by, let's just say you're a virtual client like Alicia, who sends me 8 documents.
Okay, this is not about me. It's about the listeners. Thank you.
Anyways, once I prepare it, I would tell her, okay, hey, here's your tax forms. Let me know if you have any questions about anything. She'll look over and say, okay, that's good to go. I mean, that's just so the client also knows what we're filing on their behalf. Mm-hmm. And if you need for me to go over it with you in simpler form, I don't have a problem doing that.
Yeah, I have my ETA. I got my docs. I sent her little payment, honey. And then we go on our merry little way.
And I see her in the following year.
Oh, man, yeah. I need to, I got to get my life together.
Well,
I feel like this is an intervention.
It's okay. Listen, let me tell you something. There's some people who ain't doing nothing. They missing out on a whole lot. And now, answer this for me: is it a good thing to get a refund, or is it a bad thing? Because I think a lot of people kind of like, some people be like, "Oh, I only got $1,000 for my tax," but maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it just means, I don't know what it means.
Oh, that's a good question. So I was looking at Instagram the other day, and I screenshotted this post that said the most profitable business pay taxes. Okay. So, and I agree, because just think about it. If you're making $101K, just for example, for your business, at that given time, you're being taxed in a different bracket from individuals that make, let's say, $24K a month or a year. There's not $101,000 of expense that you can say that you can write off, or at the end of the day, you don't want your adjusted gross income to be zero. You're going to have to show some type of profit of that organization. So that company that made $101K is not getting a $20K refund, but they were profitable all year. Whereas you have this individual that made $24K that's eligible for all the credits that they may be offering. They can get earned income credit with one dependent.
Now, so earned income, is that supposed to help the family? Like, what is that for? Is that like Obama's stimulus pack? You know, I'm just genuine, because it really does seem like people who have a lot of kids who are low income, they get a lot of money back.
And it's I mean, they pretty much earned it because they gave it back into their kids each year. But just think about it like, hey, earned income cuts off after $30,000. Okay. So, unless you have dependents.
Okay. Now, what's the most amount of kids you can claim on taxes?
3. And people can go higher after 4 and 5. You're not getting your full amount. So additional child tax credit, earned income credit, you're not getting the full.
And is it illegal to claim somebody else's child?
It's illegal to claim somebody else's child, claim your dog. Both of those. You can't claim the dog. I'm sorry.
I was gonna claim Sandy too. I'm glad I know now.
But I don't think a lot of people know. So let's say you make $70,000, but you have this needy girlfriend that's not employed. Okay. Now $70,000, it looks, hey, you make enough to split that in half, $35,000 a piece. Yeah. So you take care of this person. You can claim that person if they're willing. If they're willing.
If they're willing.
To say that you're providing more than 50% of their support. You can claim that.
So that was my thing before when I was working at Mac. My aunt used to file me on her taxes. So she would file me for like 4 years prior to that, because I didn't have a job. Technically, I was doing makeup under the table. Oh, that's another question. Can I file that? Like, since I'm doing...
Makeup is just self-employment.
Yeah, but it's not tax deductible.
Right, but that's your business. Yeah. So, here's the thing. I don't think you all have seen it, but I've seen clients that come to me that don't have a legit business, but their tax return consists of a business. Okay. It may not say LLC. It may just say, hey, Alicia hairstylist.
Yeah.
Okay.
That person may not have an EIN number, but they're still claiming that they made earnings. The government knows that at least 80% of the individuals participate in some type of other activity for money. So, yes, you should be claiming your makeup to show your
So even
earnings.
like if you're the candy lady, you can still...
The government knows that at least 80% of us are participating in other activities than W-2 wages to make money. Especially to be able to live a comfortable life.
That's because of all the drug trafficking. That's why they think that.
Do you think that it's easier for you to file taxes if you do have an EIN number or a LLC?
I would say that it's more legit to file it that way. And so to answer your question, yeah, it is easier. Because for me, I have an EIN number and an LLC. And I also have wages on my tax return. But what my LLC does for me, it cuts my wages down if I needed to with my expenses. So at the end of the year, all the taxes that I paid with my employer, I'm kind of getting it back because of my expenses that I paid for my business. So I'm just basically, in simpler terms, moving money around.
Okay.
So I'm taking my wages.
What's the difference between an EIN number and an LLC?
So an EIN number goes along with the EIN number goes along with the LLC. So when you file your state articles of incorporation, they're going to ask you if you have an EIN number, so those two can be tied together. Because at that time, you had the advantage to be able to say, hey, I want to file a business return and then my individual return separate. So you got two returns. Or you could combine those two and say, hey, I'm a sole proprietor running an LLC and I got wages, but I want to cut my wage expense to be able to get my federal income tax back. That was withheld all year.
Okay.
So, just a simple example. This may be too difficult. Let's say we made $20,000 from wages, which is you're supposed to at least take out 10% of that if you're single, which would be $2,000. Let's say we run a profitable business, but our business we invested $5,000, so we took a business loss of $5,000. You paid $2,000 taxes. You took a loss of $5,000. At the end of the year, that drops your total income down to $15,000. Mm-hmm. The $20,000 in wages minus the $5,000 business loss. So now you're at $15,000. $15,000 mean if we're taking 10% of that, you were supposed to pay $1,500 in taxes, but you paid $2,000. In shorter terms, you're getting a $500 refund. Because you paid an overage of $500.
Oh, okay.
So you're really not even losing.
You're not losing. No.
Okay.
Because, I mean, as a single person, it's hard to get money back, especially when you go over that threshold of $45,000, I would say.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm lying.
Now, what do you think?
You do a lot of professional people. I know you over that threshold. You said
you probably ain't even counting.
He said he like Balenciaga and Gucci.
No, that's not me. I shop at H&M and.
But you said if you want it, you buy it.
Yeah, and I don't mean that though. Like I don't buy. That's the thing about me. I do buy a lot of stuff, but I don't buy shoes over $200. I'm a grown man, so I have to spend money on my sneakers for it to be quality. But I don't go over $200. I would buy Jordans. I would buy Air Force Ones. I don't buy Balenciaga.
What's your take when you see somebody that make $20,000 but buy $1,000 pair of sneakers?
That's on them.
I think they're irresponsible, but it is their business.
It's their business. I know people that are in debt. Like really bad, like personal debt, like credit card debt, basically. Mm-hmm. And I mean, they have $400, $500, $600 shoes. I mean, anytime something come out, they have it. And in my head, I'm just like, I'm not the most responsible person, but I'm the type of person that if I don't have the money to buy it, I won't purchase it. Like even if it's something like a couch, if it's a bed. I'm not using a firm. I'm not using none of those things where they be like, oh, we'll send it to you, but we're going to be expecting $40 a month from you until you pay it off. In my head, it gives Rent-A-Center.
Firm payments, monthly payments.
Yeah, in my head, it gives Rent-A-Center Reloaded. So I'm like, I'm not doing that. So I would rather me just save my money because I don't want to have to keep worrying about that. I already don't keep up with the bills I got. Like I look at my bills, pay it off. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And then I have my phone bill and my car insurance on auto draft. But I don't want to add to that. Like, why am I adding a bill that I don't need? Like, especially for something that's like $500.
And that's me. I'm real big on auto draft. Just the
everything auto draft me. I don't even think about bills.
I know people that hate auto draft.
Me,
though.
I'm just not to that point where I feel comfortable with putting everything on auto draft.
No, that makes sense.
I mean, to me, when you get to putting everything on auto draft, that's when you able to track all your expenses down.
That's how I do. I just search,
and you're able to say, okay, this is how much money I have free at the end of the month for spending. I just feel like our generation, we're not expecting to live after 40. We're not expecting to retire and be able to live comfortably. Yeah. We're just expecting to be able to work to 80. Like, there's no retirement or 401k plan or longevity, long-term investment plan in place.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think people don't think it's important. I think everybody obviously wants to be a business owner, which is totally fine. But I think people have their mind more so set in that instead of the backup plan. Because even though I have a couple of retirement plans, and the amount that it has turned into over the past 3 years is like.
So you about to be like Gucci Mane retired 30.
Man, I'm about to be like something. But, I'm about to be 31, so. But if I would have known better since I got my very first job, even though, when you get your first job, you don't care nothing about that. But honestly, looking back at how much money I've accumulated in my retirement plans, it's just like, I really could lose my job today and be straight for a few years, like for real. Like, it's crazy.
Oh, wow.
But, and that's not to brag, I'm just saying, like.
That's good.
To know that those are options.
Do you think coming from not having money shape that thought?
Or
where did you get the education from? Because they didn't teach you that at school.
They did not. This is what I think, honestly, and this is for real. I think going to college changed all that for me. I just got exposed to so many different things. I had an accounting teacher when I got in college, and he spoke my language, so it just made things easier to understand, and it just like built a curiosity in me. So I would start reading stuff and understanding stuff. But I think going to school and meeting people that were established kind of influenced me to care about that. There was an interest when I was still like not living well. But I didn't really know where to go. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't coming to me out at the bus stop waiting on the 83. You know what I'm saying? I think that I could have found it. I think it could have come to me eventually. But I didn't really know. It's still like, even now at 31, I've done a lot of great things that people have not done at my age yet. But some stuff I feel like I'm so behind on. Because I just didn't know. Like, you just don't. When you don't never know about it, it don't even hit your mind. Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't think like, oh, let me invest in stock. My first share of stock came from when I was working at Apple because they gave it to me for free. And now I got stocks all over the world, literally. But I didn't even know that was an option. I'm just like, how do you do stock? Oh, it looks confusing.
Did you read about it? Did you take that time to educate yourself about it?
I don't understand it. My sister presses me about it. She's like, you need to, invest in some stock because you're going to need that probably.
What does that mean to somebody who don't know how to invest in stock? You get what I'm saying? So to me, it's like, do I go on E-Trade and buy this stock? Oh, Apple stock, $350. Am I about to spend $350? But now that I know that you can get somebody who can, like, I have a financial advisor that will, like, reinvest my funds. And it's just so many things that you can't do on your own until you get that education. I just think, to me, it's just how you receive the information and how accessible it is. Like, I feel like even when you think about legal terms, that stuff is intentionally complicated. So you're not going to ever get it. And it's just like, all right, I'll worry about that some other time. And it just keeps getting pushed off, Like, even this stuff we learned about taxes, it's low-key kind of simple, but it's really not. If we would have went and got somebody from a bank to come in here and speak, we probably wouldn't know what they're talking about. So we need somebody who knows us and who can speak the language that we speak to really break it down. Like, we need examples. That's how I feel. And that's just that on that. Period. But, okay, so do you think what are some red flags you think people should look out for when finding a tax professional? Let's say something wrong with them and they just refuse to work with you. What should they look for if they go to somebody else?
So, as I stated earlier, if you go on irs.gov, there's a directory that you can search that person.
Okay, so
you can search their PTN. You can.
What if you just know their Instagram name?
I would ask for some time. If you don't feel comfortable and you just have their Instagram name, ask them for their Prepare ID number.
They're gonna start replying.
Look them up then. I mean, because a lot of people out here saying they're doing taxes, but they're not doing taxes. They're preparing your taxes as if you could do it. They're not the paid preparer.
What's up with these people getting these $20,000 returns? Can we talk about that?
She asked me about that. The 20K.
Yeah, like I follow some
never.
Girl, they be in my DM. They be like, "Oh, you need to let me do it. I'm good with entrepreneurs. I can get you a good refund." Da da da. And I'm like, "Yeah, you can give me a good refund, but am I gonna have to eventually use that money to bail myself out of jail? Like, what's gonna happen?"
Definitely, the 20K refunds. My only thing is, when did you pay the taxes to get the tax money back?
Exactly. What's the most somebody can get with tax credits with 3 kids and no income? Because that'll help me understand how they even.
So I had a client, 3 kids. A 1098-T for education credit.
So she was a student. What is like $1,000?
Yeah, that was an additional $1,000. She got low income. Let's include
so under $30,000 salary.
Way under 30, more like 18.
Okay. I've been there before.
What's her adjusted gross income, and she ended up with a refund of like $8,000.
Oh, all her kids had J's.
But the thing is, that's not even, to me, for myself, that ain't even enough money. I mean, and like I said, it's not to brag, but $8,000 with 3 kids and yourself, that's not a lot of money. That's not gonna go a long way.
It's not, especially when you made $20,000 a year. So in total, if we include your income tax, you made $28,000 with 3 kids. That's hard.
Yeah, that's very hard.
I think I'd rather take the money or be able to move.
$28,000 for me by myself is not enough.
That's what I'm saying. But to people, when they get that lump sum, it's like, oh, we haven't. But in reality,
everything you didn't get in Christmas, you can get in February.
Exactly. That's right. That's crazy. But I mean, I would love an $8,000 advance. Don't get me wrong. But I just think, even to myself, if they were like, "Oh, that's how much you get," I'm like, "Man, can I get like 50,000?"
You need that throughout the year, right?
I mean, yeah. Oh, I get it throughout the year, but I'd rather just not be taxed at all. But that's just that on that. What's the difference between a federal and a state tax?
So federal is more at government level. State is more at whichever state you live in level. So
okay.
I mean, like so what do they pay for? I guess because I remember, wasn't that something last year?
It is so hard to get state additions and subtractions.
I know, that'd be the baby shit. That's why you get it first.
That's the hardest. Like federal, you can find more credits as well as deductions, but state, I mean, you really have to be donated. Oh yeah. To Georgia Natural Reserve.
Do you get 100% of donations back?
No, not 100%. It's taxed at a percentage, and that's if you itemize.
Okay.
What do you get 100% tax?
Deductions, you get those back. Most of them. Vehicle expense, that's a big one that a lot of people forget.
Does that include car insurance?
I was getting there. That does include car insurance.
Yes, sir.
If you finance a vehicle and it's your business vehicle, it also include the interest on the vehicle. So I would just tell my client, hey, bring a statement, your finance statement with that institution that you're making payments to, and it'll show your principal as well as your interest amount.
You should get a form from them too. I guess that's what you're talking about.
Right, and it'll break it down.
Mine online, so
yeah, that business vehicle, the interest on that is deductible. Actually, not to be complex, but depreciation, but. So vehicles depreciate in value.
Oh, yes.
Each year you can carry forward the depreciating amount.
Now, how do you calculate what it do? Because I actually deal with a lot of finance paperwork in my job, and we pay on the depreciation of our buildings, but for us that's the lease. So what's the depreciation for a car?
So you can depreciate a car on a 3-year basis or 5-year basis, depending on how you want to take your amount. So, for example, you could choose to carry it over 3 years, or you can choose to carry it over on a 5-year basis. So we'll do something real simple. I hope my math isn't wrong. Let's see here. We had a car that was $20,000.
That's the purchase price?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And we wanted to depreciate it on a 3-year basis, which I think is 150 micros. That'll be $300 each year that you would carry forward.
Okay, so after 3 years, you get about $900 in depreciation for the car. Now, how do you calculate that though? I just tell you how much I paid for.
That come with education on your taxpayer education. I kind of knew the percentage, but I know it's between 125 and 150% that you deduct.
Let me ask you this. So I just read, I think yesterday, that I can write off my closing costs for my house. All right, we'll take it offline.
That's touchy there, but if you make any improvements to your home and that improvement include the area that you use it for business, of course you can write that off. I think I told you that.
I definitely asked her if I could write off the new stove, refrigerator, microwave.
No, not those appliances, because those appliances aren't used in business unless you're cooking.
Yeah.
Unless you're a chef.
Okay.
Oh, we did a mukbang.
Yes. No, Alicia. I'm sorry.
You got
Well, can we use the crab leg receipt for that? Because we have.
Oh yeah, because I read that you can write off like client lunches and things like that.
Those are meals, business meals.
I'm finna take everybody lunch.
What about gifts? How can us as business owners write off gifts on their taxes?
So gifts would go with itemizing. I tell my clients now, if you can't come up with more than 12,000 things that fall in the donation category, tax preparation fees, union dues, maybe a mortgage interest statement, real estate taxes, all of that has to come over $12,000. Then it's best for you to itemize. If not, it's just best for you to take the standard deduction. Remember, Trump changed that. The standard deduction used to be so. Your president.
No, I don't have a president.
Your president.
Okay, that's weird. Okay, go ahead though.
Yeah, and he's gonna carry out his term.
Okay, thanks. All right, go ahead.
Okay, but yeah, so it has to be over 12,000. And I mean, that's
now what does
hard
that
to
mean?
come
That
up
means
with.
that all the stuff that I spent needs to be $12,000, or else I'm gonna have to itemize it. So I need to find a way to spend $12,000.
So off the list I just gave, off the top, if you got a mortgage interest statement, more than likely you paid at least $1,600 in mortgage, but you have to at least come up with over $12,000 for it to be beneficial for you to use the itemized deductions.
Got it.
Otherwise, it's best for you to just take a standard deduction.
Oh, okay, I get what you're saying. So itemized deduction is what is the good thing. But if you ain't got that much to be doing, you just need to take the standard. Here, take a little $5 and go type thing.
Right.
Got it. Okay.
Just take the one that they put in place. If you can't come up with $12,000 worth of expenses, I mean, property taxes, real estate taxes, mortgage interest, union dues, tax preparation fees.
HOA?
No, sorry.
I hate you be following rules, bro.
I don't. Let me tell you something.
I just want to be honest.
Yeah, I would rather that because I like I said, I think that the focus for everybody is just getting money back, a lot of money back. But realistically, I think that what I've grown to learn is that all that stuff come to bite you in the ass if you didn't do it the correct way. And even if I think that one of my fears is me filing taxes and I get audited and then I can't really prove the stuff that, that's on there. Because I have filed taxes before and no pronouns.
Listen to me. The audit process is like a nightmare if you ask me. I mean, because it's putting me in the bad space as well as you.
Yeah.
I'm having to ask you to come up with this information, prove this information. I had a client that went through the process, and they was like, "Hey, Brittany, I don't have it. I don't."
Yeah, a lot of that stuff was verbal.
Do they go to jail? Do they get a fine? Like what
No,
happens?
they never received that refund
At all.
And then the next year when you file, you're being looked at again. A lot of people think, "Hey, that refund just held up," but you're not getting anything following that refund.
So the penalty for not being able to prove your tax information is not getting nothing.
They withheld your refund.
Wow.
So I have a question. What about people who get their wages garnished? Are they able to file taxes?
You still have wages on that W-2, right?
Yeah.
So you're still able to file. You just, your wage got garnished.
Do you think
the garniship is typically after your earnings. So like if your net earnings was $1,500, then your garniship kick in, which is $300. So you still have $1,200, but you're still gonna pay wages for the net amount. Yeah. It doesn't matter how much you were garnished.
Okay.
What is the penalty for not filing taxes at all? I know some people who I've been trying to send to you for a while, and they haven't filed in like 3 years, and because they just haven't gotten around to it.
So if it's within 3 years, the penalty is based on the income. If you filed the extension, then you wouldn't pay.
Definitely didn't file this.
So it'll be based on how much that person made, and it'll be calculated out. Let's say if they were getting a refund, they'll deduct how much the expense is for late filing. It's typically started at $125.
So, but you can't go to jail. Let's say I went 50 years.
If it was more than 3 years, 3 years is what they allow for you to catch up on, or prior years return that you can go back and file. After 3 years, I kind of don't want to even accept the risk.
Yeah, really? I don't blame you. Okay, before we wrap up, what is the difference? What can somebody expect to? I mean, I know we kind of went over this already, but like, why would somebody go to, like, with technology being the way it is, why would somebody come to someone like you versus just going to HNRBlock.com if they just, you know, if they got, like, should, like, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. No, you go ahead.
She's crazy. I just tell people it depends on what you're looking for in your tax professionals. If you're looking to get the biggest refund, I may not be the best fit for you.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, but if you're looking to deduct your business expenses, I'm knowledgeable.
Yeah.
I'm able to help you with your bottom line. Of course, my motto is helping you balance your income for a better outcome.
Period. So, as long as the outcome is income on my tax return. But no, okay, no, I feel you. Like I said, I feel like when I was just writing off my little part-time jobs, it was like, okay, what I'm getting. You know what I'm saying? But once that two-state thing came in, and now that I'm a business owner, I don't know what I'm doing. And I don't even think I'm ever find out. So I'm just going to come on over to you.
You got it.
Thank you. Now, you got any questions, Draco?
No. I think that at this point, I kind of got an idea kind of still. I think that I just personally need to do the process the correct way so that I can fully understand, because I think that I just been tainted with so many different scenarios and people that haven't been doing it the right way, and then me watching people on Instagram and they doing all these, you know, they get. So
First of all, this is just in my opinion. I wouldn't do people on Instagram that publicly broadcast your refund.
Yeah,
I think that's a level of confidentiality that you're exposing your client to. That's why I kind of didn't want to touch on bases as far as my client and the refund that they got.
It's fun
but
to watch,
I never post that information on Instagram.
It's fun to watch because you just be wanting to count down the months of when they're going to get locked up.
It's marketing guru, you ask me.
It ain't even guru if you ask me.
It's marketing doo-doo.
If people want to reach out to you for your financial services, what should they do?
Okay, so since I'm coming out and accepting new clients, you can follow my new Instagram, not my professional or personal Instagram, but you can follow me at WFALLC. You can also contact my business phone, not my personal phone, at 404-491-0343.
It's WFA_LLC. I know you're new to social media, but...
Oh, thank you. I am new to social media. I don't believe in marketing through social media anyway, but
that's the way
it works. Let me tell you something.
I'm trying it out.
Yeah, you should, because I've marketed through social media, and I've always used social media as a tool for the most part, and I've racked in some 5-figure jobs. I'm going to have to look into coming to you and get some help. I need help all around. I need financial advice.
And I'm open for questions. I mean, you could text me. Don't call me after 10.
I ain't never talked to her on the phone.
Yeah.
we only
email.
So you do everything virtual?
Pretty much virtual is my preference, let's say. But if a client needs to meet with me, I have a location that you can meet with.
Yeah, I got a stack of W-2s at home. I don't got
and we'll sort it out. I also give you my little general list of expenses because I know you're freelance or self-employed.
Yeah.
And you can kind of sort.
Because you are employed.
I did do it for you.
You probably did. I don't remember. It's okay.
I did it for Alicia.
Okay.
Your blog.
Okay.
I did it for OD Podcast.
I remember. Thanks.
I definitely sent her a general list of things that she should be looking at in her expense portfolio for her to sort out. So I do the same for you. Like, I know you know your brushes and little common things like makeup. But again, if you travel or commute to that client, you should definitely begin your business miles. I'll also say meals if you went and sit with them and say, hey, I want to set up these dates. That business meal should definitely be deductible because you are setting up plans for you to go do makeup at a future date. I also say for you, maybe the computer, if you were doing marketing, I hear you big on the marketing online, that should be definitely deductible for you. Credit card expense, if you use the credit card because you may not have the funding to use cash to purchase your supplies, the interest on the credit card will be deductible. So it's a bunch of things we would go over if you needed assistance.
Okay. We'll be in touch because
Brittany is the truth. I would not bring no scammer on here. I don't send the girl my personal information, and she somehow I ain't went to jail yet.
Oh my God.
About 4 houses.
Well, okay. 3. But anyway, well, thank you, Brittany, for coming on the show. I appreciate it.
I really appreciate it.
Yes,
you helped me a lot.
Thank you.
I hope she was able to help all y'all who've been asking me who my tax person is. You heard her voice. You know what she's talking about. So, holla at your girl.
Holla at your curl.
Holla at your world.
Holla at your girl.
Hey.
Did I get it right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.